Plaintiff Joni James says when she met the defendant, she was in her early 20s and was a wild child. Joni claims as a result of drinking, the defendant got herself into some trouble. But she has since turned her life around and is a good mom. Joni's suing her today for the balance due on a loan. Defendant Michaela Earl says when she met Joni, she was a recovering alcoholic, and they had a love-hate relationship. Michaela claims one time when Joni relapsed, she started verbally assaulting Michaela in front of her children. And she insists Joni forgave the loan.
Start with you.
Your Honor, I met Michaela when she was in her early 20s, and she was quite the wild child. And I believe she was on a path of destruction.
How so?
I can remember an incident where I was with her. We were both drinking. She wrecked her Jeep. I walked home. She wrecked her Jeep, hit a parked car, walked back to this bar, was good buddies with the bartenders. They hid her behind the bar when the cops came, and I know she has since settled that situation.
What else?
She was going through a rough time because she was in a battle for the custody of her daughter.
Okay.
I'd like to say, though, Your Honor, this girl has turned her life around.
Good.
In the past 4 years, she's married, she has a beautiful son, a wonderful husband. She could win Mother of the Year.
Good.
Not only all that, a 4.0 in school.
Good. That's right. Excellent. Excellent. You give me some background.
But, Your Honor, I need to add, she needs to get a little bit better with paying back her loans.
Defendant Michaela Earl was friends with the plaintiff, and she claims once when the plaintiff was drunk, she verbally assaulted Michaela in front of her children.
Go ahead.
When I met Joni, she was recovering alcoholic. We did meet through a mutual friend, and our relationship is love-hate. And when it's good, and it's bad, it's bad. The most recent, a lot of this stuff that she's bringing up, like she said, was my early 20s. I don't know, I mean, it's all stuff that's in the past. It has nothing to do with me now.
You're still in your 20s?
I'm about to be 30.
Okay.
Early 20s, we'll say wild child 20s. The most recent case, between me and Joni that has been really bad was last year on Mother's Day. She had come with me on a road trip with my kids, and she had showed up at my house a little late and got in the car, and her demeanor was very different. She was acting very different, so I had already known that it was one of those hate cases between her and I for the day. And she started calling me names as in I was a dumb whore.
Did she have a reason?
I then realized she had a reason. She had reached down and pulled out beer from her backpack, or little fanny pack thing, whatever that little cooler was, which I thought was snacks for the road trip. And
It was.
yeah, it was.
Her snacks.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah. But when the names continued and with my kids in the back
So
seat.
you think she just did it because she was drunk?
Well, I know that she was having a family situation going on, and this is why I always thought me and Joni were close, because we each had family situations.
So when she has a family situation, she curses you out and calls you all these names?
Pretty much.
Do you have any idea why she calls you names when she has a problem with other people?
I think because I have always been there for her.
That's not the way people show their appreciation.
No,
usually.
it's not. It's not.
Do you do that?
I think on occasion I have.
Why?
The day she's talking about, I was drinking. I cannot drink hard liquor, period. I did that day, it was wrong. I have not
So
had...
just out of the blue, you start cursing people out and your friends?
No.
So why did you do it that time?
I don't remember what took place that day, Your Honor.
All right. So how does she owe you $1,440?
In November of 2012, I loaned her money for a security deposit and part of the first month's rent to move into a house.
How much?
$1,500.
Okay. When was she to repay it?
No later than April 15th.
All right. I guess $60 she's paid?
Well, her husband worked off some of it. Saturday, I told her
Well, if she didn't mind, hey. Go ahead.
And that took place
Why you say
Saturday,
some of it?
November
You fired
24th.
him after the first $60, you fired him?
Yeah, it just
After the
wasn't what
first
I was
$60
expecting.
worth? Wasn't what you were expecting. All right.
Oh my God.
Ma'am, do you owe her $1,440?
As of now,
First of all, did you borrow $1,500?
back in November of 2012, I did, but after April of 2014, I feel, in my opinion, or 2013, thank you, I feel she forgave it.
Okay.
Her own words.
What did she say?
It was after another one of our wonderful arguments that lasted 3 or 4 days. She had showed up at my house and she had told me that she wasn't worried about the money. The money didn't mean anything if it was going to ruin a friendship, and that she was more worried about the other matter that she had going on with family, and that she wasn't worried about the loan.
I still didn't hear you say she told you didn't have to pay.
That she's not worried about the money. She's not worried about the
That
loan.
doesn't mean you don't have to pay. That just means she's not worried. I'm not worried. When I loan people money, that don't mean I don't want them to pay. Because I got a couple extra dollars to keep me going, so I'm not worried. I
She
still
had
want
told
them
me
to pay.
not to worry about it. She never brought it up again after that until she showed up at my house 2 months ago and was there to console me during a personal issue that was going on at home, and was consoling me as my best friend would. And then 2 days later, a sheriff was knocking on my door, serving me with papers.
Defendant Michaela Earl was friends with the plaintiff, and she claims once when the plaintiff was drunk, she verbally assaulted Michaela in front of her children.
So what do you think happened between the time she was consoling you and the time she decided to sue you?
I have absolutely not a clue. A typical relationship between me and Joni for 7 years, I guess.
All right, why don't you ask her, why is she bringing it up now since you don't know?
It has been brought up because, well, it got brought up after the paperwork got served because
Why?
I texted her and said, why did you blindside me? Why didn't you just come to me if you felt that I still owed the money? Why didn't you just come to me as my friend and talk to me about it?
Say?
She said that she felt that I was going to take off and leave and move, which I'm not for another couple months. And if once you leave the state, whatever her excuse was about leaving.
So what'd you say? Did you say, okay, I'll just pay you?
No, I didn't.
So why'd you go through all of that? Why didn't you do this? You're my friend. Why didn't you come and talk to you? Talk to me about what? There was nothing to talk about, was it?
Well, no, I just didn't understand why she went and filed paperwork. Why she just didn't come to me and say, I think that you still owe the money.
Okay. And what did she say in response to that?
I don't have time for your nonsense.
Okay. And instead, I'm going to sue you. All right. Ma'am, did you ever forgive the debt? Did you ever tell her something that you intended her to understand as forgiving the debt?
No, Your Honor, and I think she does not understand there is a difference between business and friendship. When I went there that day, that was from my heart. I was not blindsiding her. This is business.
All right, ma'am, you have the obligation of proving that she forgave the loan. She says she didn't. And you say she sent you a text?
Yes, she just said, I don't have time for your nonsense.
That's all?
And she showed up at my house 2.5 weeks ago, and we had a pretty big argument.
Why did she show up then?
Why?
Yes.
Because she knew that I was upset with her for not coming and talking to me.
All right. And you have a document there? What is that?
Yes, Your Honor, it's a promissory note.
Okay. A written document where she agreed to repay.
Yes.
All right. Judgment for the plaintiff. She has a written document here promising to pay. Judgment for the plaintiff. Have a good day.
Thank you.
I don't know, I just kind of feel blindsided still about it all, and I'm just glad it's done and over with.
That's fine with me, you know? I'm glad I won the case.
Did you see that last case? If you can relate to their situation and have a legal question for me, hit me up on my website, askjudgemathis.com.